live on YouTube. Yeah. Yeah. All right. We are live on YouTube. We are live on YouTube. How's everyone doing today? How's it going, everybody? Welcome to episode number 1227. That's right, episode number one. I'm not going to go that way. It is still raining hard. Episode number 1227 of Navigating the Modern World with Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition. Live today from a very rainy Red Morton Park. It's raining cats and dogs here in the San Francisco Bay Area. I'll just show you how wet it is. Hey, babe, how you doing? I mean, it's not raining hard right now, but it's still raining constant enough for me to be stuck underneath this overhang. And I don't know, I might end up doing some of the show from the car. I'm not quite sure yet. If it lays off a little bit, which I don't think it is. Can't go this way because that's not, there's no overhang there. I mean, if it doesn't get any better, which I don't think it is, I may end up, like I said, doing some of the show from the car. But I'll just walk around here up and down, back and forth, try to get in a little exercise. Today's topic is, why do I, keep doing what I do out here on YouTube, despite all the scrutiny? We're going to get into that in just a little bit. If you haven't noticed or didn't get a chance to view it yet, I did another stream earlier this afternoon right here on GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development, where I basically pretty much debunked and corrected the record regarding a stream that the defendant in my circuit civil case is going live right now, probably going to try to say the exact opposite of what I said. I expect that. And he's going to try to feed that one small audience he has that either believes everything he says or they don't believe him, and they're just there for the cringy entertainment. And it's not even cringy entertainment about me. I'm just doing normal stuff. Like, what I do is completely normal. Like, I'm just trying to help people, right? I'm just trying to be nice to everyone. I'm just trying to be a fair person, right? Even be fair out here on YouTube, but that's not how that guy operates, So, I'll check out what he says. I'll skim through his stream later. And if he does exactly what I think he does, then I guess we'll have to correct him again. I mean, we can continue correcting him until eternity, right? I mean, I don't want to keep doing those streams. I don't enjoy them, but I do care about my reputation, and I'm just not going to allow anyone ever again to ruin my reputation publicly. I'm going to stand up for myself and stand up for my organization and stand up for the people that care about me and my organization and care about my lady Dawn and our other executives, Dawn, Sandra, Tia, and ODN, and other moderators here like GLM and Not Lay Geno and Lewis Fuller and many others that I'm probably forgetting. Hey, ODN, how are you doing? Hey, babe. Welcome to the show. Great to see you here. Yeah, I'm staying underneath this roof here because, it is still coming down, and I don't think it's going to stop. I'm just hoping I can maybe get at least a mile walking under the overhang, and I'll just keep going back and forth. I mean, I guess that's what it's going to be. And it's like 50 degrees. It's a little bit chilly. Hey, Tia, how are you doing? Welcome to the show. Oh, man. Yeah, but what I wanted to start off by saying here today, and I'll tell you this, a lot of this has become like comedic to me. That doesn't mean I haven't been harmed by this situation. Like, there are many people, what people don't realize is that many people are able to function and continue to do business as usual, even when they've been harmed, like with intentional infliction of emotional distress, defamation of character, and other things, right? And, I'm just beginning to really start to put more and more of the pieces together regarding who I think some of the other sock accounts are. And I'm just going to make a guess. I'm not accusing anyone. I'm just stating an opinion and making a guess, a best educated guess, that the Kit channel, Kit C, many people know Kit C, and initially I was thinking to myself that possibly could have been like Joe Buddy. I mean, that's not his real name. That's somebody whose real name I know, but that's his YouTube username, right? I thought the Kit C channel was him, but I'm beginning to more so think the Kit C channel is a guy that goes by Brutal Honest. And Brutal Honest, that's not his real name. His first name is Bill, right? Brutal Honest is one of the only people that call me a derogatory name in a specific way. Brutal Honest has always called me Cucky, C-U-C-K-Y. And it's interesting to me how many times that phrase has been used in Kit C's postings. And, if you look at patterns, and you can even run community postings between the main channel and other sock accounts, and ChatGPT will do a pretty good job of analyzing the writing patterns, right? Right? So, listen, nothing is certain, but I have reason to believe that the Kit C channel could be Brutal Honest. And here's the thing. If that is you, Brutal Honest, right? And even if not, whoever Kit C is, you continue to write long paragraphs on your community wall that not many people really see. You know why I look at them? Because it's comical to me how much time and energy you put in to making postings that are just completely flawed and wrong. The law, like, you're trying to cite things like the law, and you say the complete opposite of what is true. And I want to correct you again, Kit C. You seem to think you're writing your postings regarding non-party status in a court case. Okay? There is no such thing. It's not a designation. And I mean, we can refer to it as non-party status, but non-parties have zero status in any case, including a circuit civil case. And the term non-party is just a label to describe someone that is not a part of a case. And anyone that is not a part of a case, a party to the case, either as a plaintiff or defendant, they have very, very limited rights. They have limited rights. They can file for leave of court and then request a motion to intervene and become a party to the case maybe in a limited capacity, depending on what the judge would grant. In this case, what Judge Stacy would grant, right? You can subpoena a non-party and request discovery on them, and they can, at that point, file a motion to quash and stuff like that, right? But besides that, Kit, fundamentally and procedurally, you're absolutely wrong. You're all over the place, and you continue to try to write these long paragraphs trying to sound like you're some authoritative figure in this community, and you're just a bunch of absolute garbage nonsense. And you know that, I know that, the people here know that, even people on the other side know that, right? Right? And that's not my issue. I don't even have an issue with you. What I'm stating is that what is your driving force? What is your motivational driving force to continue to put in so much effort into these postings? I know you're just using ChatGPT, so maybe it's not taking you a whole lot of time, but it still takes a little bit of time, right? You got to focus on it at least for 10, 15 minutes, 30 minutes a day, right? What is your motivational driving force to continue doing that? And why don't you answer me directly? Why don't you stop ChatGPT? Why don't you write a community posting and direct it to me directly? Either that, or if you are brutal honest, or whoever you are, how about you use your real channel and let's discuss this. Here's the thing. You people want to shout from the top of your lungs, figuratively speaking, by writing on community walls of unknown sock accounts of, what do you call it? Anonymous accounts, right? You want to shout from the top of your lungs regarding anonymous accounts, okay? If you have an actual problem with me, why don't we handle it like two normal YouTubers would handle it? How about we use our real channels, and how about we talk about it? Maybe I'll come on your panel, right? Maybe somebody can host, because I'm not bringing any of you people on my channels. I don't trust you. But I'm willing to come on your panels. I'm willing to do something on a third-party hosted channel. Chubby, what is that? Hi, Eli. Thank you for going live. I'm loving this. What are you loving? And welcome to the channel. This is the first time I'm seeing you here. Who are you? Tell us who you are. How'd you find out about us? Well, there are a lot of people parking on that side of the lot. And I don't know if they're walking on the other side there and the lights are on. Maybe they're still playing soccer. Babe, when was that account created? Was that account created today? Yeah, it is still, it's kind of sprinkling, but it's sprinkling constantly, and it's still not worth going out there. Maybe it'll just stop for a little bit and I can at least walk out to the street and back, but I'll just keep going over here for now. See, we've got this big overhang here, which is actually pretty nice. It's all good. Yeah, 3 days. Yeah, that's a sock account. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they might be really loving it, but who knows? You probably made the right call. Not a big deal. Yeah. But, my whole thing is this. Why hide? Why hide behind a sock account? how about we just address the issues head on? Is it because there really is no issue? It's just all about comedy and parody and entertainment and using me as your content when you really don't hate me, or you really truly know I've done nothing wrong. So using your real channels and us having a conversation on a live stream really wouldn't make any sense, because it defeats the purpose of using me as, a content tool, painting me in the ways you want to paint me, not because you actually feel that way about me, because that's what works with your audience and gets you paid and gets you traction, right? Is that what it is? Because, I mean, look, it's whatever, right? Yeah, some people out here do that. Some people, need that as their content strategy, because being themselves apparently doesn't work, right? I was talking more about that on my stream earlier today, right? But it's just really, really sad that these people that are posting about me, and they're saying things that are completely false. And I'm not just talking about my reputation. I'm talking about court procedure. Like, you know what, Kit? Here's the thing. Let's wait and see what happens during these court hearings, right? All you guys keep doing is performing on YouTube, and everything so far regarding the court has gone exactly the way I thought it would go. And as far as the non-party lady that you're talking about in your postings, when the judicial assistant says you're not a party to this case, that's a standard answer. You're right. It is her standard answer. She's not a judge, but she has to follow a procedure. Just because she's not a judge, she has to follow a proper procedure that she's authorized to follow. And if something happens that is beyond her scope, just like what happened with the defendant in the case here, when he didn't understand, or at least pretended to not understand, the procedure of the January 9th hearing being changed due to a court scheduling change, which means we would have both had to agree to the time change for that day, or a new date would need to be set. I knew that from the very beginning. That was pretty simple procedure, but the defendant kept on trying to, put it out there as a continuance, and that's not what it was. And he knew that. He played that for YouTube optics, right? And what happened? The judicial assistant had to refer that to the court, aka Judge Casey is the court in this case, right? And the court, aka Judge Stacy, got back to the JA a couple weeks later and basically just told her to follow procedure, because one party's not able to make it and it was a court scheduled change. New dates will need to be selected. And then all of a sudden the defendant was open. You see how the defendant works? When the judge in this case, aka Judge Stacy, when the Judge Stacy in this case lays down the law, the defendant follows, right? Like a good little boy, right? Like a good boy, right? You see, Kit, that's exactly what's going to happen, is when the judge rules on the procedure, both parties, or all parties in every case, have no choice but to follow it, right? Right? So the fact that you're saying that the non-party lady who has tried to schedule two hearings in this case with no standing in the case, right? That's the proper procedure that the JA followed, right? And it'll happen again. If she tries to email the JA, she filed 2 emergency motions, which are probably going to get ignored. But they got the attention of the JA probably and the judge. And they're probably like, oh boy, it's that non-party lady again. She's trying to intervene without leave of court. Without leave from the court, a.k.a. Judge Stacy in this case, right? And at this point, Kit, I'm telling you, you could sit there and go off in your community wall all day and watch people like the non-party lady continue to do dumb things, filing things procedurally improper in this case, and eventually it'll catch up to her and the defendant, right? Same first name as my mama. Right, you like that, huh? That's right. That's right. It just, ODN, listen, it just so happens to be that the judge's name, the judge's first name is the same first name as his mama, right? Right? But I'm not mentioning that name, right? I'm not even mentioning which guy's mama it is by name. I mean, and even if I did, it wouldn't matter. Like, they're public figures, right? And even his mom has been on his streams anyways. Not his streams, his videos. His mother's appeared in some of his videos in the past. So we all got to know her, right? Right? Funny thing is, my mother and brother and family, most of my family have never been in any of my videos. And they're not public figures. But these people talk about them all the time, right? And it's okay when they do that, right? It's okay, Kit, when your supposed buddy that you're going to bat for, the non-party lady, it's okay when, in the harassment order case I tried to get on her last December, right? Right, we're talking about a little over a year ago, December of 2024, when she tried to send unsigned and unprocessed subpoenas to my brother, my mother, and my aunt by email without running them through the court. And that was abuse of process, right? So let me tell you this, Kit. If you're going to be a fair journalist, right? If you're going to be a fair journalist, you've got to be fair both ways, man. You're not what they call a fair broker, Kit, a.k.a. brutal honest. You're not what they call a fair broker, right? You're one-sided, and you're all about what suits your narrative, right? Because you basically behave the same way as the defendant. You basically say the complete opposite of what's true, leading me to believe you could also, Kit C could also possibly be the defendant. Like, let me ask you this, ODN. You know the Kit channel? I'm not going to say the full last name, even though it's a fake name. I won't say it. Kit C, you know Kit? Who do you think Kit is? I'm beginning to more so think right now it's brutal honest. I'm beginning to more so think that Kit is brutal honest, right? Now, while you figure that out, right, and it's starting to come down again. Now, while you figure that out, why do I keep doing this despite all the scrutiny? Because I've dealt with scrutiny all my life. Never at this level. Never at the level of how unreasonable all of these people have been out here on YouTube. But they've been unreasonable on purpose because it suits their content narrative, and nothing else works for their content narrative than purposefully being unreasonable, right? And I think more and more people are beginning to see that, right? I believe they share it right now. I think you mentioned the judge's name a while back. So what? Of course, I did. Judge Stacy. Well, I mean, she's a public figure. She's a public court official. And I'm not being disrespectful, I'm just, basically sharing that she's the judge of our case, the Honorable Judge Stacy. Your Honor, Honorable Judge Stacy. I mean, that's proper. That's the way you address a judge. You say, Your Honor, right? What's so improper about? I don't get these people. I just don't get it. Like, this is the thing. A judge is a human being, too. Yes, I respect judges as the authoritative figure of the court that they represent. Right? And I have deep respect for that, right? But these people need to realize that judges are human beings too. They eat food like us non-judges do. They drink water, they drive cars, right? It's almost like they're trying to make it seem like if you say Honorable Judge Stacy in a proper way to update what's going on during a case that you filed, it's almost like they're saying, oh, well, the judge should sanction him for litigating on YouTube. Where am I litigating on YouTube? I'm just sharing my thoughts about where we're at and what's going on. And more so, this is what they don't really like the most. They don't like the fact that they're being called out on their shitty behavior. And the thing is, the reason why they're behaving in these ways is because that is their act on YouTube. That's their act that attracts their like-minded audience to continue to come around, right? That's the act that attracts their like-minded audience that continues to have them come around. These people are very similar in nature as the defendant, right? We are at 27 minutes. Hey, it's still raining. It's not raining that hard, but it's sprinkling constantly. I really would like it to stop so I can at least walk out to the street or something. I'm kind of getting bored of walking this overhang, but you know what? There's nothing I can really do right now. Hey Jenny, how you doing? Jenny's Productions, or Jenny Productions. Welcome back. Great to see you. Did you enjoy the show earlier? Did you get the updated information? Let me ask you, Jenny, I'm just curious. How long have you been following this story? And I'm just curious to know, what are your thoughts about it? I mean, respectfully, I ask you. You can say whatever you want. I'm just wondering, what are your thoughts about all of this? Because, yeah, I mean, I think you may have been around in the past, but I can't remember. So we consider you to be fairly new here, which is no problem. But we want to start getting some new opinions from people that are following the story and how it comes off to them, how it appears to them. Tia says, hello, Jenny Productions. Yes, yet they rarely use their own names or faces. Right. You're right, Tia. You're right. And this is what I'm saying, How about you folks use, okay, even if you don't use your real name, how about you folks on the sock accounts create some live streams and invite me on? Let's have a conversation. Are you folks willing to have a conversation with me just using your voice and you can remain anonymous. I mean, I'm even willing to work with you at that level. I'm willing to work with you folks at that level. I just want to have a conversation with you folks and see if we can have a reasonable conversation. Huh. Well, stock account, here's the thing. He can file a subpoena for anything, and I can also file a motion to quash. There's no absolute reason for him to subpoena me for my financials. He won't get them. And I'm not scared of that. So if you're thinking you're going to come over here to try to scare me, I don't get scared by anything he says. I don't. He's full of it. Again, he can file whatever he wants. That doesn't mean it's going to get granted. And it won't, because there's no reason to subpoena my financials. This case is not about money. It's about injunctive relief. It is about defamation of character, intentional infliction of emotional distress, malicious prosecution, and abusive process, and the harm is reputational harm. And there could be punitive damages. None of that is claiming loss of income. So if he wants to try to subpoena my financials, he can file the paperwork, and then he can go to his audience and say, oh, look, I just subpoenaed Eli's financials. And then I'll file a motion to quash. It's a bizarre deal. He just won't leave Eli alone. That's no problem, dude. Let him keep talking, ODN. The more he talks, the more evidence we have for Honorable Judge Stacy. Right? 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 Remember, the first name of Judge Stacy is, similar to someone else's name, right? Let him talk, man. Let him file anything. Let him try to subpoena something that will get quashed and make him look even worse, right? Did you hear my question earlier, Jenny? I was curious to know, what are your thoughts about all this? Did you miss that part? I'm just kind of curious. Yeah. Yeah, and again, the non-party lady can file whatever she wants. The defendant can try to subpoena whatever he wants. He has to have reason to do it. There's no reason to do it when there's no claim for loss of income. What does he need my financials for? What is he trying to prove? Right? There's nothing to prove. I'm listening. I think it's terrible. The defendant won't leave you alone. I appreciate that, Jenny. Yeah, I think it's terrible too, but I know why he's doing it. And I'm just trying to get as many people to understand that I am his content engine. This is all about one thing. It's all about using my name and likeness to enrage his audience of Eli haters, to keep them coming back and dogpiling in the comment sections. And then when he has enough of their engagement and they're enraged, then he goes live and brings them there while they're enraged and then siphons donations from him or from them. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. But here's the thing that a lot of people aren't realizing. I keep going. I keep doing this because I know that morally, ethically, and legally, I know I'm right. I know I'm morally, ethically, and legally right. And in due time, once the court is able to intervene and we start having these hearings and the case moves forward through the stages, oh, it kind of stopped so I can walk a little bit, then accountability will start to happen. Until then, the performance is going to be amped up because you have to understand, I'm only seeking injunctive relief. I'm seeking protective orders. I'm not suing for money. Now, I might get some money. I'm going to request punitive damages, but that's up to the judge and the jury, right? So the bottom line is, even if he loses the case outright completely, more than likely it's not going to cost him anything. So he's saying, hey, let me let it all ride right now. It's not going to cost me anything. At worst, I won't be able to defame, harass, or steal Elias' content anymore, but I can still talk about him. And that's true, right? So he's sitting there and he's treating the court like I mentioned earlier in my walking stream, he's treating the court like a business expense, right? He is. He absolutely is treating the court like a business expense, and he's weighing the risk versus reward factor with everything he does. He knows more than likely he's not going to go to jail for this. He knows more than likely it's not going to cost him anything. It could, but I'm not suing for that. In federal copyright court, yes, we're going to be looking at statutory damages, and that's probably going to cost him something. If I win the federal copyright case, the very least I will get on each of my 3 copyright certificates is $750 times 3. That's $2,250 minimum. If I win that case, it's going to be $2,250. But because there's a lot of willful infringement, the lawsuit will be for up to $150,000 for each of my copyright certificates once I get them. And that's going to be up to $450,000. Again, those are statutory damages. I'm not suing for loss of income. He cannot subpoena my books. He can try, but it'll get quashed. So that's on him. He can try whatever he wants. He probably will try. He can try whatever he wants. But the more and more that he tries to do things that make it more so appear that he's doing this for YouTube optics, the judges will eventually pick up on that. And they may not outright say that, but they will weigh it against his credibility, in my opinion. And when you look at the contrast of credibility and the contrast of what I've filed compared to what he's filed, it's a night and day difference, right? In the meantime, he's going to perform on YouTube while he can. And all I'm doing is what I always have done. When people like this try to taint my name, I'll stand up for myself. I'll stand up for the truth, right? Thank you so much to the 30 people that are here. I really appreciate you. Especially, when the defendant is actually live right now, having 30 people here, and I thank you folks, seriously. I know there are some people that probably used to be a part of his group, and maybe are here quietly because they don't want to be attacked. I don't blame you, right? But I thank you for being here. I thank you for choosing to do the right thing. I keep doing this, folks, because I keep doing this despite the scrutiny, because number one, I believe in myself, and I believe in the good of what the GNA stands for, right? And I keep doing this because if I give up, how many other people will I be giving up on? I don't give up on anyone. There are a lot of people already that are here. And even though we're not making a lot of money, a lot of people are getting good support from the GNA, emotional support, friendships and stuff like that, right? And I would never give up on those people, because me giving up on myself, and forget about the fact about these people winning. Who cares about them? Let them think they're going to win. I don't care if they think they win, right? Doesn't matter. What matters are the people that are here. And then there are new people coming in. And we're now at 31. I appreciate that. That's really... I appreciate that. That's really telling. Thank you so much for choosing to support us. And we all support and appreciate you, babe. Babe, that's really nice to hear. And I'll give you this, babe, because you deserve everything from me. I try to be as humble as possible. But, I could come out and say, hey, you know what, I don't need to hear that, and you know what, just take care of other people, right? But even I need to hear that at times. You're right about that. I appreciate that. Thank you. That means a lot. I've never been one that's good at accepting compliments, not because I don't want to accept them, not because I don't understand what they are. I do. I just care more about helping others. And hey, my happiness comes from helping others. My happiness comes from giving to others. I don't find happiness in taking from people. Now, if people want to give to support a good cause like we have here, different story. We need to get funded. I get that. But I don't try to forcefully take anything from people. I don't beg for donations. I mean, there have been times in the past where I got upset that we weren't getting donations here because of what the other side was doing back then that they're still doing now. But I've even learned to let that go. I've learned to let all that go. And if anything, I'll tell you folks this. If anything, what's made the biggest difference in my attitude and me being able to be calm about this is the fact that I filed the civil case, because nothing was ever going to change. And it's still, even with the civil case filed 3.5 months ago, not only has it not changed, it's gotten worse. It's been amped up even more. Same first name as my mama on a hat. Oh, Deanne, you really liked that show the other day. Your Honor, Honorable Judge Stacy, right? Oh, the rain stopped for right now. I'm actually, you know what? I could probably even walk to the street. Like, it's like 95% stopped. Like, it's just barely sprinkling. So I can at least, let me show you how much rain we've gotten. Like, this is really, look at how wet this is. I mean, we got a good storm. It's all good. But you know what? Doesn't matter. Come rain, come shine. come rain, come shine, we keep going, right? We keep going every day. We don't stop. Money or no money, rain or shine, 100 degrees or 20 degrees. We keep going. That's my attitude, because I just want people to start having more confidence in themselves that they can accomplish whatever they put their minds to, even if they think it's difficult. Like, a lot of people wouldn't have come out and taken a walk in the rain. But hey, there's an overhang. I could still walk there, get my exercise in, still do my show. And now the rain stopped. And I'm not going to walk too far from the overhang in case it starts again. But you know what? You can't let anything stop you, including the rain. You can't. Including the cold. You just can't. I won't let it stop me. Even my lady Dawn, and sometimes even my own mother has concerns, right? And I can understand why a family wouldn't want me coming out in the rain and walking and doing my thing. I get it. I don't blame them. But I say, you know what? No, I'm not going to let that stop me, because there's always a workaround to everything. There's always a way to make anything happen on any given day, no matter what. And all you have to do is put your mind to it, right? When I was younger, my dad used to tell me, you can accomplish, son, whatever you put your mind to. You can accomplish whatever you put your mind to, son. That's his exact voice. I can mock my dad, God rest his soul. I do it in a respectful way. Right? You can accomplish whatever you want to, son, whatever you put your mind to. Because I used to not really use my mind. And some people, like the defendant in his group, will probably say, well, you still don't use your mind. UCUCKOLD, right? That's all, right? You can never give anyone credit, even in a nice moment, right? Jenny's Production says, my dad said the same thing to me. Tia says, many people know the kind of guy you are. It's so disappointing that you are targeted for nothing. Well, that's why we're in court, Tia. I appreciate the kind words, Tia, and that's why we're in court, because this was never going to change. And I was saying a second ago, the reason why, this is great, the rain has stopped for now. It's still, it's sprinkling, like very, very lightly. We're actually good. Like, I'll just show you, like right here. It's very, very light rain. Rest in peace, Dad. Yeah, absolutely. Same to any family member you may have lost, Jenny. But sorry, I lost my train of thought. Give me a second. I was saying that's why I keep doing what I do. Because my dad used to encourage me I can accomplish whatever I put my mind to, and I never listened to him. I didn't start listening to him until shortly before he passed away, and I was in my early 30s then. It was like 32, 33. And he was right. Because, he passed away right around the time, shortly before that I got my insurance licenses and I started to sell insurance. And I started to be an entrepreneur like my dad's been most of his life. And he was proud of that. And throughout my 30s and my 40s, I learned a lot more about myself. I learned a lot more about my purpose and what I was meant to be. I've shared this before, but I'll share it again. It's been a while, but when I was younger, I used to pretend to be a DJ in my room. I would buy 45 records with my paper route money. The 45s, the singles. Then we got cassette singles. Then we got CDs and CD singles and regular cassettes before that, right? And now it's all digital, right? But I always loved what the DJs would say because they were fun. They would play good music. 99.7 FM, X100. It's a super snake, right? I used to love that, right? I used to love the on-air personalities, and I'm like, that is me. Like, I love that, right? So I pretend to be a DJ. And that's where it started. At the same time, I grew up in a technological world. Here in Silicon Valley, in the San Francisco Bay Area, we practically created the technology. We created the technology for the world. We created that here, right? The microprocessor and computers and all that, right? And I was on the forefront of that, and I knew how to fix computers. I still do. And anytime my friends' computers would break, I'd fix them for free, and I'd bring the parts because I always had spare parts because I'd always have, the latest computer and, my spare parts that I didn't need anymore. I would just give it to them for free, and I'd install it for them, and I'd go to their, sometimes on a weekend or a day off from work, I would go to their place when they were off too and just work on their computer for 3-4 hours. I wouldn't even charge them. They didn't want to pay me. I wouldn't take their money. And then they would take me to lunch, and I wouldn't even want to accept that. They made me accept the lunch. Hey, I get it. It's all good. The point I'm trying to make is that it's always been in my blood to help other people. If I have knowledge of something where I can help a friend of mine and save them the heartache and the money and the time and all that, if I can do a good deed for a friend, someone I care for, that's what makes me happy. And that's where this all stemmed from. That is the truth of the matter, right? And so the fact that we haven't made a lot of money here yet is not a problem from the aspect of, hey, we're not a real organization. We're not doing anything here like the defendant and his group likes to say, right? As part of their cringy content, right? What we do here is in alignment with what I've always done. And what I want to continue to do down the road, we want to help as many people as possible for little or no charge, but we need it funded by people that can afford to fund it, right? And that's why these types of organizations take a lot of time and work to build, right? Now, a lot of people might say, hey, how come Charlie Kirk built TPUSA so quick? Well, Charlie Kirk is not alive anymore, no disrespect. He didn't deserve to die. But the reason why Charlie Kirk built TPUSA so fast is because he was very highly controversial with his podcast. His views were very extreme, and he got a lot of attention on YouTube. So people got to know him because of that. If Charlie Kirk just started TPUSA, Turning Point USA, without his very polarizing and extremely controversial podcast, I can guarantee you they'd be struggling in the same ways we've been struggling. I'm not willing to sell the heart and soul of this organization to grow it. I'm willing to take as long as it takes because I want to stay true to its mission, right? I don't want to start to pretend to be extremely controversial. I would say I'm controversial enough for the right reasons, but I could be even more controversial. I could push lines and skirt lines and say some things that would get me a lot more traction. But also, I would risk more platform enforcement. I would risk losing the people I already have, which I don't want to lose them. They're the best people I've ever met, right? And it would completely go against my vision, my mission of this. And If I were to go against my own vision and mission, how the hell can I expect anyone else to believe in it? Right? I mean, that's the truth of the matter. This is not rocket science, folks. I've learned how to be a pretty decent public speaker to be able to articulate the words. What I'm saying here is not rocket science. It's pretty common sense. And every organization just needs someone that can clearly speak it like I do. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to clearly explain things in ways where people can understand. But this is not even about me. This is about everyone. This is about all of us. Right? This is for everyone's benefit. I'm not like the defendant or other YouTubers that only care about benefiting themselves, but then they try to come off like they love everyone. No. You love the people that donate to you. Right? All right, we've actually been walking for about 55 minutes. We're going to walk another few minutes, and then we're going to start to wrap things up. My lovely lady Dawn, babe, if you want to start getting whatever quote you may have right now, she had 2 in the earlier show. Thank you to the 24 people that are still here. We greatly appreciate you. There are some new people coming. I'm sure there are some people that are just being spectators and they haven't chatted yet because they want to start to feel comfortable. Please feel free to chat anytime. We will respect you, and if you're concerned about the other side or other people coming at you for being here, we will protect you from that. Trust me, I will go to bat for you, no matter what creator it is. Because I'll tell you this, I love the YouTube platform, and I'm not threatening anyone. I never threaten anyone. I'm not here to threaten anyone, but if anyone comes at you, I will directly approach them out here on YouTube, and we can have a chat. And if you want to do a YouTube style on a live stream, if you want to you want to debate, you want to debate and hash things out because certain people choose to be here, let's go. Let's do it. I'm open to debate. In the past, I wasn't, but now I am. And in the past, I wasn't only because I had to figure out how I wanted to handle this situation with the current defendant that I'm suing. And I realized I need to sue him in civil court. That'll change everything. And it's starting to change things, but it's also amplifying his end more. But at the same time, by him amplifying himself more, he's more so showing his colors, more so giving us more evidence, right? More so proving what's actually going on. It's exposing itself. He's exposing himself in real time. Oh God, I almost always trip over that because it's uneven. Before we go, put a 1 in the chat if you feel the defendant and other people in this group and other creators in this group are exposing themselves in real time, more so because of all this. If you agree with that. Oh, wow, that is great. I imagine your dad would be proud of you and your family. What an honor. Thank you, Tia, says Jenny. Tia with the heart and praying emojis. I appreciate you, Tia, says Jenny. ODNTV, they can't get mad at you for giving your opinion when they've been taunting you for years. You're right about that. Please smash the thumbs up if you enjoyed the show. Show some love. Have a good evening, ODN1. That is so kind to say, Jenny. You seem so sweet. There's my lovely lady Dawn. Respectfully, maturely, and professionally says, some people rewrite others' lives to avoid reading their own. Honestly, have a good night. Looking forward to it tomorrow. Absolutely, babe. One more time. Respectfully, maturely, and professionally, Dawn says, my lady Dawn, my lovely lady Dawn. Some people rewrite others' lives to avoid reading their own honesty. Have a good night. Looking forward to tomorrow. I'm going to say this as I walk back. You're absolutely right about that, babe. That makes sense because, like I was mentioning in my earlier stream here on GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development, The defendant is basically living a lie on YouTube, in my opinion. He's basically, acting in a way that he wants people out here to perceive him. Now, he's tried to say the same thing about me in the past. That's not true. I mean, babe, I live with you. Am I any different on YouTube than I am at home? I'm the same person. I'm the same exact person, right? But as far as the defendant goes, he's presenting himself in a way out here that he wants people to perceive him. I present myself exactly as I am, right? The good, the bad, and the ugly. And I've been scrutinized for that, right? And that's the thing I love about you, babe, as well, because you and I, we've had some not so proud moments out here, but we've always been real. The thing is, we've always been real, right? We've always been real with everyone. Good days, bad days, indifferent days, right? And throughout all of it, at the end of the day, it's made us stronger and better. And it doesn't, the negativity doesn't really affect us as much, if at all, anymore, from a triggering standpoint. Does it still affect us emotionally at times? Does it still affect us monetarily, algorithmically? Yes, it does. It does affect us. But what it doesn't affect us from anymore is being able to function and continue to move forward. And you see, that's the biggest thing, in my opinion, that the defendant and other people like him and his group try to do to people. They try to silence people. They try to knock people off of YouTube. They try to put so much pressure on them. They try to dogpile on them to the point of where they just leave because it becomes too much. And Don and I have never left. We've had our moments, but we never went anywhere. And I hope that speaks something regarding how we are here and who we are and how we can help you, how we can support you. Don's quotes are on point, says ODN. My lady says thanks. Awesome quote, Don, says Jenny. Great, Don. I'm really liking these quotes. Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're leaving 21 in the box. 62 minutes. I'm going to go grab some food for my lady and I. The rain seems to have stopped, at least for now. Wow, this is actually good. The rain has stopped. And I actually got a full walk in when it was literally pouring cats and dogs all day. Where's that water coming from? Where is that? Oh, it's right here. Let me show you. Let me get the light on. It's all going into the it's going in right here. You can see that. You see all that water? We got some good rain, huh? That's where it's going. She spits facts, right? Like Eminem, right? I could sing my song to the defendant again if I want, right? Now, while he stands tough, notice that this man did not have his hands up. The free world's got you gassed up. I mean, listen, that is the perfect line for the defendant, how, DN? The free world's got him gassed up. He's all gassed up. You know, gaslighting, right? I believe that's a gaslighting reference in the movie 8 Mile, right? Now, while he stands tough, notice that this man did not have his hands up. The free world's got him gassed up. Now, who's afraid of the big bad wolf? Now, who's afraid of the big bad wolf? Now, who's afraid of the big bad wolf, right? Now, who's afraid of the big bad wolf? And he thinks he's a big bad wolf. That's actually his branding. It's a wolf logo. 1, 2, 3, and to the 4. 1 Pac, 2 Pac, 3 Pac, 4. 4 Pac, 3 Pac, 2 Pac, 1. Your Pac, he's Pac, no Pac, none. Right? And most importantly, this guy ain't no motherfucking MC. I know everything he's got to say against me. I am white. I am an effing bum. I do live in a trailer with my mom. My boy Future isn't Uncle Tom. I do got a dumb friend named Cheddar Bob who shoots himself in his leg with his own gun. I did get jumped by all 6 of you chumps. And Wink did F my girl. I'm still standing here saying, F the free world. I'm trying to really be better about that, right? But I know something about you. You went to Cranbrook. That's a private school. What's the matter, dog? You embarrassed? What's the matter, dog? You embarrassed? What's the matter, dog? You embarrassed? This guy's a gangster. I wouldn't even say his real name, even though he's a public figure. His real name is Clarence, and Clarence lives at home with both parents. And Clarence's parents, like I always say, Clarence's parents have a very interesting marriage. How, Deanne? You know, Clarence's parents. I feel very fortunate, Deanne, that my parents did not engage in any activities. Any extracurricular activities. I think that would have really messed me up, man. I think these people calling me the CUCKOLD word is a pure projection of trauma that they've supposedly, in my opinion, dealt with in the past, right? Yep. My motto, F Lotto, I get the 7 digits from your mother for $1 tomorrow. This is what I feel like saying to these people at some time, or at some during some points, right? Just like Eminem was saying in the movie, like to what was it, to Lotto, right? Here's a pencil, go home, write some shit, make it suspenseful, and don't come back until something dope hits you. Fuck it, you can take the mic home with you. Looking like a cyclone hits you. Tank top screaming, Lotto, I don't fit you. Man, that is the most inspirational movie I've ever seen. 8 Mile, man. I mean, you've got this Caucasian man, and when everyone's known that initially rapping was done by African Americans, right? He's the only Caucasian dude in the rap battle, and he's going against the African Americans, right? And he's sitting there, and he's whooping them and using their own words on him against them. I tell you, man, that's like the most brilliant thing you can do, right? And see, that's exactly what I'm doing to the defendant here. I'm flipping his own stuff on him, which means he has to continue to escalate and get more triggered and create more outrage and more dogpiling with the comment section and all that garbage, right? Good evening, Eli. I'm about to go off the air. Lewis, thank you for stopping by. Eli and Don and everyone else in the stream, hope everybody's doing great tonight. Yes, we are, but Lewis, I'm about to go off the air. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being at the other stream, Lewis. That was a blessing. Thank you. It's been a blessing to have you around. Lewis, we're going to get together and do some shows together soon, okay? We have got to do that, but I'm so glad, Lewis, that you've been able to engage with us a lot more lately, and I've been able to do some more morning streams. But anyway, thank you, everyone. I got to go. We're at 70 minutes, an hour and 10 minutes, leaving 21 in the box. 7 thumbs up. Please smash the thumbs up. Please share this out. With that being said, have a good one. Take care, and as always, be good to each other. See you all tomorrow. Good night, everyone.